Hey guys, this is Big Boss 1980-1999. This is actually going to be my Toy Fair figure haul. Now the Toy Fair was a few months back. I never really thought about doing anything until a video until recently about my Toy Fair haul. So what I'm going to show you is what I got. As you saw earlier, one of my other videos, I got the Wayne Manor for like $5 at the Toy Fair. It was one of the first things I saw. And the reason I found out about the Toy Fair is the missus actually saw an advertisement on her way to work about the Toy Fair. And she asked me if I had been to one. I'd never been to one. Never knew they existed. So she decided she was going to take me. So we went. So we had a lot of fun. It was a blast. We were there for 2 hours, but it felt like we were there for like 5. Because it was so much fun. I was just looking at every little thing. I didn't know we were there for a short amount of time because a lot of people had a lot of great things. But what I'm showing you right here, this is a Master Universe Classics weapons pack. Now the weapons pack is weapons rack. The weapons rack is a throwback to the Castle Grayskull. As I mentioned before, I never owned the Castle Grayskull. So when I saw this, I wanted it. This was before I actually saw this guy right here. So I picked it up for like $10, and as you can see, it comes with a shield, a mace, a couple spears, a sword, gun, and an axe. Now, with the red ones right here, these are what's called vac sealed painted. These paintings they have a tendency to chip. And with the tendency to chip, I didn't realize that until I actually picked it up. That, as you see right here, it's actually coming off. I'm trying to get that little focus. It's not doing too hot. Sorry. So as you can see, it's noticeable. But it's still great. I like it. I can actually use it for displaying with other figures. Even though they're bright red, but that's alright. And this is actually before I got my weapons pack. And I saw those there, but some guys were asking way too much over there for the weapons pack. But this has been like a throwback to the Castle Grayskull weapons rack. And when I picked up this Castle Grayskull, it actually had the weapons rack. I can't find it right now, but the weapons rack itself is kind of like a yellowish orange type of deal, really small. But the guy, when I bought the Castle Grayskull, said it had everything in it. So I was like, cool. And come to find out, it has a weapons rack, but it doesn't have all the pieces. So this is actually what came with the vintage line. This is meant for the 4-inch He-Man figures, and this is meant for the 7-inch Master Universe Classic figures. As you see, the 4 Horsemen did pretty great, and they actually added a lot of detail in these. So that's awesome. Now the shield that I have for this Castle Grayskull, apparently spinning around, but it just looks like this looks exactly like this, except this one actually has some grooves in it, like it's been in battle and seen some damage to it. So that was cool. Now, as for the gun, it's weird how they got this proportion from this proportion for the vintage line. As you can see here, this one is huge, and this one's small. It looks like this one's meant for the 7-inch line, this one's meant for the 4-inch line. And it comes, the Castle Grayskull came with another spear just like that one. So that was pretty cool. And a mace. Now the mace is actually it's pretty much the same size. As you can see, this one's a little bit wider on the mace itself. But this is awesome. And a lot more detail on this one. But yeah, this is awesome. So even with the 4-inch line for the weapons rack, you can still display him with your Master of the Universe Classic figure. So that's really cool. So that's been my weapons rack pickup. Now I got this guy. This guy right here was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. He's not the Comic-Con figure itself. So the person I bought it from didn't pick it up at the con. But this guy is Hero. And Hero, in the 80s, was advertised. He was a concept figure. It was supposed to come out. He was supposed to fight alongside He-Man. And he never made a production. Never made it. So, with Hero, this guy, what they actually started doing for the bios is with Hero, they actually made him the first, inadvertently, the first He-Man, or the first He-Man that carried the name He. But as you can see, he came with a translucent power sword with white specks in it. Now, he also has you barely see it, and I kind of like the fact that you can barely see it, kind of like a Castle Grayskull emblem on the back. But, yeah, this guy is awesome. As soon as I saw him, I picked him up. Now, one of the things about this Hero character, inside, right here, it comes with a jewel. Now, the jewel, I think, was like 4 different characters, 4 different colors, like blue, green, and purple, and red. And the one I got was a green one. Now, the one thing I kind of didn't like about this is it kind of catches things. It's kind of like gummy. Not really gummy, but it still catches like dirt and everything else onto it. But I thought that was cool, the little feature that this picks up. The one thing I did not like about it is the pain in the butt to close. Pain in the butt to close. But other than that, this guy is awesome. So I do display him next to my He-Man characters to represent the first He-Man. There, it's closed. And so, yeah, he's an awesome guy. I like him. And I remember this figure was supposed to come out in the 80s. I remember this, and as soon as I saw it, I picked it up. And it's kind of like the Fearless Photog that a kid won a contest for create your own He-Man character that never came out. But the kid won. He got like a $10,000 scholarship and promised that he was supposed to get his character, but they never made his character. So, but he did get the $10,000 scholarship. So they made good promise on that. So for the 30-year line, they made the Fearless Photog. I actually don't have the Fearless Photog. I plan on getting him. Yeah, this is Hero, which is awesome. And we went to another vendor that was selling these guys pretty cheap. He actually sold these guys $2 a piece. So I picked them up real quick. Now, as for the 2000X version of He-Man, I actually liked that show. It was updated. It was more of an adult feel to it. So when I saw these guys, this is Teela. She's really small on size, but she's awesome. So I picked her up for $2. She'll fit perfect right there for the Castle Grayskull. She's about 5 inches, maybe barely 6 inches. And I picked up Evil-Lyn, because I always liked the updated version of Evil-Lyn. And that's one thing kind of upset me about the vintage line. We used to own the Evil-Lyn, and she was bright puke yellow. It's the best way to describe it, is puke yellow. I never liked the character for the toy. So, but when I saw her updated outfit in the toy line, I was probably about 20, 21, I thought it was awesome, because she's actually matched what she looked like in the show. And I think the Four Horsemen did a good job. Now, these guys actually have the gimmicks that the vintage line used to have. The little power punch. So I thought it was kind of cool. For $2, it was a steal. And this guy right here, Teela, she goes about anywhere $30 to $40. This guy did not know what he had, but she's not complete, so I'm happy as long as she has her staff, and that's all that matters to me. And as long as Evil-Lyn has her staff, that's all that matters to me. But yeah, so that's what I got for those. Now, I also picked up this guy. Now, this guy, when I was a kid, used to scare the crap out of me. Just the way he looked. He scared me more than Skeletor did. But he was an awesome figure growing up. But in the show, he was just scary. But I picked him up, and I got him from a vendor at the Toy Fair. He came loose. He was really cheap. The guy charged me like $15 for him. But as you can see, I can see why he charged me $15 and not full price. Unfortunately, this Beastman, which is this guy scared the crap out of me, doesn't scare me anymore, but because inadvertently he's kind of weak in the knees. So I scare him. Payback's a punk. But no, Beastman is an awesome character. Now, I still will display him. I just got to figure out the kind of sweet spot for him so he can stand up on his own. But other than that, he'll buckle under his own weight, which kind of sucks. But the detail on this guy is phenomenal. The Four Horsemen did a great job with this guy as well. So I'm glad to see him back with the He-Man line. And yeah, this is awesome. Now I just got to figure out how to get that sweet spot and make him stay just like that. So, there he goes. Also picked up this guy. This guy, I love the fact that he was barely introduced. He was a brand new character in the He-Man, the New Adventures of He-Man, the Mike Young 2000X version of He-Man. He was a brand new guy, new character, and yet he was important. This guy is named the Faceless One. And the Faceless One right here is awesome. Now, he doesn't really look like anything other than the fact for his wardrobe of like the Faceless One. The Faceless One kind of had like a blank face. You could barely see like an outline of anything like that. But he was an important character to the new 2000X version of He-Man. He was Evil-Lyn's father. Yeah, that was awesome. So I like to have that backstory on that. Now with the Faceless One, he actually stands better than this. But this part is really top heavy, and this table is really soft. But he does come with 2 accessories. One is his own Havoc staff, which is really cool. It looks like it's shooting energy beams. I usually display this one with Skeletor because of the fact that it has like energy on it, and the Ramstone. And the Ramstone's awesome because you can see the detail on that, and it fits right in his hand. It's actually made for his hand, which is really cool. Let's see here if I can put him in there. I actually never really display the Ramstone in it because I was afraid I was going to lose it, but it fits right in his hand. And the story behind the Ramstone, it could break any door, and so that was cool. So I got him for like $20. He was loose, but yeah, can't complain. Now, this guy I used to own. This is a face only a mother can love. It is my Hurricane Hordak. Now, this Hordak in the 80s had an action feature. And the action feature, he had a dial, and he can do things with that dial, like shoot out, or spin, I should say. That's why he has no hand right here. Because he comes with these accessories, where you place in the hand. Let's see here. Place it in the hand, and you spin the dial, and it'll spin this around. I thought it was cool. I actually don't display Hordak with his little accessories, because the Hordak, I remember, is always shooting something out of his left hand, or his right hand, I should say. And so I always display him like he's shooting something. But he does come with 3 accessories. As you see, one of them is this. Another one is kind of like a gauntlet type of deal. And a kind of like a shredder type of thing. But yeah, he was cool in the 80s, and he brings back a lot of memories for me on this one. I still prefer the all black Hordak, and I'm still trying to look for him at a decent and fair price. But this guy's still awesome because he doesn't have his hand, and yeah, it looks like he's always shooting something. So I got him for like, I think it was about $20. Now, for this guy, I was looking for him for a long time. This guy is a pivotal character in my opinion, and he should belong to any He-Man collection, always. It is Man-at-Arms. Now, Man-at-Arms in the 80s actually did not have his mustache. He actually had this head, which is a blank face, because that's what he had in the comic books and the mini comics. And I always wanted the Man-at-Arms with the mustache, because I remember him from the cartoon. That's how I got into He-Man, was that 30-minute commercial. And Mattel did great with that commercial. They had me buy, or at the time, my parents buy me a lot of He-Man figures. Now, Man-at-Arms comes with this mace, this gun, and he had a sword somewhere. I can't find that sword, but he does have a sword too. It's a real small sword, but he comes with those pieces, and he comes with another accessory. I think it's an axe. I can't find it right now, but yeah, Man-at-Arms, like I said, is a pivotal character to me. He always wanted to give He-Man a point of advice, when Prince Adam point of advice. I almost forgot. Another reason why I wanted him so bad As like I said, I like the 2000 version of He-Man. I like the sword, but I never liked the sword at the same time. Now, but this sword is awesome. This sword is all silver except for right there in the middle for the Iron Cross. And it just looks like that Man-at-Arms made it without technology. There's no real anything on it. There's no buttons or anything like that. He doesn't come with the sword doesn't come with the gimmick. It's just a straight sword. And I always wanted a sword just like this one from that 2000X version. And because that's what He-Man would be, with a big sword. But that's why I thought He-Man should just be with a plain big sword without no green or in it, just a sword. A power sword, just the way it is. That kind of mimics the old power sword. So, yeah, that was one thing I picked him up for. And I also picked these up, too, at the same time. Which is halves of Keldor's sword. If you don't know who Keldor is Skeletor. Spoiler alert. And he came with two halves of a sword. And what I was doing some research on this, the reason why he had two halves of a sword, because in the 80s, for the He-Man action figures, especially Skeletor and He-Man, they always had two halves of a power sword. A bad one and a good one. And apparently Skeletor had both halves. Now, I picked this up at the toy fair, and the guy's like, yeah, that's a Comic-Con exclusive, and da-da-da-da. He was trying to sell me on it, and I'm like, the Comic-Con exclusive doesn't come out until later this year. And he wanted to charge me like $30 for it. And I told him, like, I'll give you $10, and that's it. $10, and gave it to me. I just wanted a sword for Skeletor, because I think that Skeletor is a badass with two swords. And so I picked this up as well. But that has been my goodie haul for the Master of the Universe line. Or the Master of the Universe Classics line. So while the missus and I are walking around, minding our own business, I happen to look over, and I see these guys. Now these guys, when I first found out they're coming out, I was so excited, and I heard they were out, and I was looking at my toy store, and Toys R Us, and anywhere I could find them, and I found them.